Hi, welcome to this video on my robotic arm and hand. Last time it turned out that the electrical wiring of two fingers of the hand were not functioning, and last time also it turned out that the new setup of the motors of the elbow were not exactly rigidly connected, and as a third point of focus, this motor setup with kind of winch I constructed needs to be reconstructed because since this extension the pull moment is no longer here but is here, which means that this has to be changed. So first of all, the electrical wiring of two of the fingers. Because I have to use several points of connection where I connect shorter wires to each other, those are the points where the wires get detached. So because of two fingers, this one and this one not functioning, I checked those wires and I found no less than 4 loose wires. So that is really a point to take care of. And to show that it indeed now works, I'll start the compression again. That is one finger, that is 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And according to the program, whenever I touch two fingers at the same time, they should respond the same, but that is very hard. Because if a computer says 1 millisecond too late is not at the same time, or 1 millisecond difference is not 0 time, it won't respond that way, whether you program it or not. So with the fingers fixed, it is now time to move on to the next problem, which is the lower gear, in order to get the arm better moving. This lower gear needs to be changed because on this axis the cord will be fixed or attached, and in this way it is blocked by these two, so I'll have to change the whole setup. What I also noticed is that this whole gear setup can be pulled forward rather easily, and that is obviously not the intention. So the idea is to move this to the underside of the motor. and to be sure that it is indeed necessary to move it, I'll just run the motor using the diagnose interface. And there you see it. And now the question is, how far should it run? And I'll yet have to demo that, because from this position on it will start pulling. Another problem I encounter is that this arm is now in its maximum downward position, because if you look at the elbow, it can't go down anymore or any further. Oops. While if I move it, this can be done, more or less, and there are some problems on the other side of the gear as well now. So it's not sturdy as thought, but anyway, this gives thought to another point. From here I can't even pull the arm. I have to pull the arm from a different position. So that is two issues I have to address. First, being sure that this can move further, and then the maximum position of the arm. So let's first relocate this gear. With the new reconstructed setup of the lower gear, the whole thing brought down. It's not yet as stable as should, but it's a start, and I'll show the reach of the gear rail. And the other way around. So this is a much wider reach, and this should certainly be enough for the arm. And if the arm is if the gear with the axis is in this position and I release it, then it should be more than enough when this is attached to have some pulling power. So with that done so far, I have to do some fixations yet, but the idea is a lot better than it used to be. There are two things remaining for now, and that is the fixation of the motors on both sides, and something that keeps coming back is this width, because it is barely enough for the gears to go through. It's also not rigid enough, and that is a big problem. So two things I should do: make it, let me put it like this, make it wider, and I don't know if I can do that without changing the base of the elbow, and put it higher, although if I move it a little, and there it goes, so it can't keep the weight, which is I think even an understatement. But if you look here, it should have enough room to, or enough to be pulled. So I think the height in itself is enough. Just the rigidness of the whole elbow isn't, and that remains a problem. So for now I will focus on the flexibility of the motors on both sides, if I can fix it. So for now I have made a support which makes sure that the motor can't sink too much. So it should be and should stay nice horizontal, or horizontal nicely. However, since I am considering to broaden the whole elbow structure, because of the gear that hardly fits in, this is a temporal solution, and who knows what else will happen. Anyway, with this temporal fixation, and not yet finished lower gear, because this is still too flexible, but in idea it looks like a promising idea. However, when I try it, the whole problem is that the elbow will cause big problems, so I have to fix that this first before I continue with the lower gear. So 3 problems addressed. A lot to do, but that's for next time. But the fingers are done anyway. They're working, and that was the biggest problem. So for now, thank you for watching, and once again, to be continued.